Mate, JC should have won. I'm just,
Whoa,
saying
not
it
that I
now.
disagree,
JC
but
was
whoa.
robbed, mate. Like they went. For those wondering, the ace match in DreamHack China, mate. Ah, god, that was.
Time can bleed.
Mate. And we were wondering where Patience was. Patience was in the bedroom of JC, mate. He jumped in, he took over at the last minute. Oh god.
That was pretty hype. But speaking of hype, we're going to be kicking off our series here on Romanticide LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. The blue Protoss coming down from France. He is currently teamless. We have PtitDrogo.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Polish Protoss representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer.
It's all on the line for this Polish player in the top left. He cannot drop a single map in this series.
Feels bad, man. Again, as you said, he does have a chance to make it out of this group, but he has to perform the best he's ever performed here in any of the DreamHack group stage days, and oh boy, the pressure is on, mate.
Very much on, but it is also a PvP, so maybe that might relieve a little bit of the pressure.
It's possible, mate. It's possible. Oh god. Likewise, PtitDrogo, even though he's, got a pretty decent score, it isn't a sure thing that he advances either, even if he does win this series. So, yeah, this group, it's going to be pretty interesting how it plays out. For those wondering, all of the Group A remaining games are being played out at the moment on all 4 streams. Or 3 streams.
Well, 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Alpha X is going to come in later on with starting from Group B.
Yeah, yep.
There are a bit more matches in the other groups.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how things are going to play out today because, again, as you said, we're basically going to finish up each group one at a time. A, then B, then C, then D.
Absolutely. None of this weird math things where we go to one group and then the next one and then the decider map of the first and then the elimination match of the second.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I know that was some of the criticism for DreamHack last year, where sometimes they would just jump from one group to a different group to a different group, and people had a hard time keeping up with where things were in relation to themselves and what was happening. So yeah, it's cool that they've kind of lined things up like this.
Yeah. Just like game testers. Interesting deviations coming out from our players here. Krystianer being the first one to go for the Stargate.
God damn it. So yeah, he does go for that Stargate opener. His own Nexus was a little bit faster as well. So yeah, pretty interesting. I imagine PtitDrogo is going to throw down the Twilight Council relatively soon and go for a more Stalker heavy composition, as he's being a little bit aggressive with them already going across the map.
Yeah, he really might as well. He sees only one gateway at the moment, but hasn't quite been able to get to the main base yet.
Yeah, not yet. Unfortunately, he didn't open up with any sentries. The sentries are on the way now, so he wasn't able to go for a hallucinated scout. But he did see the units that were at the front, so he can assume, what his opponent's opener was. So hopefully he's getting ready, and he does throw down a shield battery at home.
All right, that's going to keep him safe from one of the Oracles here. Oracle cannot out DPS the healing rate of a shield battery. Shield batteries.
Yeah, and what's scary here is, that shield battery ran out of energy. Ooh, forced to use an overcharge, still loses the Zealot.
Yeah, it definitely seems a little bit of a panic overcharge, but may as well use it and stay alive, then not. Drogo will confirm the Oracle, and we'll chase that completely away.
Yeah, pretty interesting decision there. Krystianer, even though there were only sentries in the main, he didn't try and go for a stasis or anything like that. He just kind of dipped on out, waiting for a second Oracle. Ooh, forced to actually use it defensively.
Which is definitely not what you want right now, as Krystianer would be utilizing the Oracle to the best of its ability across the map. But if it keeps him alive, it keeps him alive.
Yeah, again, PtitDrogo was just applying a lot of pressure there, and pretty impressively, he didn't lose a single Stalker. That was some pretty impressive, some pretty impressive micro there by PtitDrogo, and as we pointed out, unfortunately, Krystianer just hasn't been able to do anything with these Oracles yet.
Oh, might be able to start one-shotting these probes, though. Shield battery cannot save them anymore, but the Stalkers can, and will.
Yeah, that they will. On top of that, you know, there wasn't too much energy left on this or on one of the remaining oracles, so gets 2 workers. More importantly, he keeps the oracles alive.
Yeah, you definitely want them much later on for the stasis wards and the reveals. Even some emergency DPS if you really need it.
Yeah, you know, they still have value. Oh, he has to be careful. I mean, PtitDrogo is trying to chase him down.
He will be able to chase them away, but not quite down. Surprisingly, Krystianer is the first of these 2 players to get Blink and +1.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised as well. Like, PtitDrogo, he was focusing a little bit more on his economy instead and on defending his bases as well. He did eventually get those sentries up and he did scout his opponent. He's seen everything. He even checks again to see what his opponent is up to. So he has all the information he needs and yeah, he's sitting back pretty fine.
Yeah, I should be feeling pretty confident here. I mean, slightly behind when it comes to the upgrades, but he's going to be the first player to get those Immortals and probably a War Prism out. Oh, unfortunately, no anti-air was the position to deal with these Oracles.
Mate, that was beautiful. Like, again, we were talking about how it was so important that Krystianer kept his Oracles alive earlier, and they didn't pay for themselves at all. But now, finally, you know, 6 minutes in, he dives in, and the main base was left completely open.
Absolutely. These Oracles can retire in peace now.
They can. They shouldn't, but they can.
Again, they have so much utility as the game goes on.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep them alive for as long as you can, please.
Meanwhile, Krystianer moves out. He does get spotted by the hallucination, so PtitDrogo, he's well aware. He's going to be able to reposition, throw down a couple more shield batteries. As you said, like, Krystianer did get his upgrades a little bit faster, but again, that window was relatively small, and PtitDrogo is not too far behind.
He is not. Both players getting Blink at around the same times.
Oh.
And they're going to be even on the weapons upgrades. Pretty good force fields coming out from PtitDrogo, but nothing a little bit of Blink can't fix.
Yeah, exactly. Krystianer was trying to be a little bit cheeky there. He was like trying to like catch PtitDrogo off guard in one shot, but PtitDrogo was even faster with his blinks, so he was able to, even though he had the smaller army, to push him away. Oh.
Yeah, the shield battery definitely helped a bit as well. Interesting blink.
A little bit of miss micro there. I feel like maybe he tried to like blink forward, maybe try and catch the immortal, but did delay himself a little bit there. But that immortal is still exposed. Yo!
It is! It's outside the range of the shield battery, and even with the overcharge, the immortal will go down. Just a split second too late for PtitDrogo. Krystianer is running away with value right now.
That's a really rough loss for PtitDrogo. And again, resetting that immortal count, and so far it doesn't look like he's getting another. Krystianer does lose an oracle, but like behind this, Krystianer has to feel so safe expanding.
Absolutely. He knows that Drogo is so far behind him. He can't really get much done without immortals across the map. Krystianer definitely has the slightly better army. Drogo is starting to push out with a War Prism now, though. And he will get charged a little bit quicker than Krystianer, so might be able to apply some more pressure, but honestly, I see Krystianer holding this pretty easily.
Well, I mean, he has an Archon, right? That's so important, especially when all these cells are going to be warped in. So we'll see what the positioning is looking like here. There's a really massive choke point, and we'll see if Krystianer allows PtitDrogo through it.
We're gonna have to keep our eyes peeled. Drogo does not want to get baited into that choke point right now. He's playing it very cautious, as he should.
Definitely. At the same time, Krystianer dives in once again with that Oracle, forces a warp in at home. Oracle does dip out again. So careful control with this Oracle, just keeping it alive since the beginning of the game. And Krystianer gets away with his 4th.
And that's the only place he's focusing on right now. That's the only place that's really vulnerable to attack. Now, Drogo is setting himself up for a bit of a multi-pronged warp in.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Krystianer does not quite have enough army to split up at the moment.
Yeah, I'm worried as well. Like, depending on where he uses his warp in, right? He's not gonna have any gateway like cooldowns to warp in at home, and he just warped in now. The Zealots are coming in to that 3rd base.
Right on top of that tank. One Zealot will be distracting that a bit. Krystianer is undaunted, though.
God, exactly.
He's defensively warping in right now.
Yeah.
So is Drogo.
He's just going across the map. This is kind of scary, though, because, again, Drogo does have the defender's advantage. He does have a shield battery.
He hasn't even popped the overcharge yet. There's such a good concave of Stalkers right now for Drogo. Archons are a little bit exposed, but I tell you what, like, that just means that the splash damage gets to the zealots a lot quicker.
Exactly, but you know what? Both Archons did get taken out. There's one Archon remaining here for PtitDrogo. As all this is happening, we do have a Zealot run by here at the third base of Drogo.
And there were no shield batteries in position there. Krystianer taking PtitDrogo out from the north and further south. He is really bleeding out the army supply.
Yeah, exactly, like surprisingly so. But at the same time, yo, those Zealots actually got into the natural base of Krystianer, so he himself is also taking damage.
But Krystianer does not seem to care one bit. He has initiated a base trade, and for the longest time he was winning it, but finally Drogo turns the tides.
Mate, those DTs were huge. Yeah, there was no detection here whatsoever for Krystianer. PtitDrogo, he's one with the Observer, and with these DTs, Krystianer is forced all the way back home. And the Observer's still on the way.
That is why it is still on the way, and that is why you want to keep the Oracle alive for as long as you can.
They could have come in for a revelation. The DTs are winning the game right now for PtitDrogo. An Observer is finally going to pop out, but mate, the damage has been done.
The damage has indeed been done. Half of Krystianer's total army has been taken out. So many probes are going down. This War Prism is still very much in play, and there's only one Observer light.
Yeah, only one Observer, and it's not fast enough. Yeah, exactly, especially when DTs are split up everywhere. We have DTs here in the natural, we got DTs in the main base, Zealots are coming in, just everything's in shambles. Krystianer was playing this out so well, but just, you know, cloak units, mate. That's all you need.
That's all you need. That and to take out the Oracle as well.
True, very true, very true. To be fair, like Krystianer, it was impressive how long he was able to keep it alive and get as much value as he did, but at the end of the day, like, he just wasn't ready for the Dark Shrine, lost his natural base, lost all these workers. Krystianer, like, he still has a small army, I guess, but
his economy is in complete shambles. He cannot reinforce that army. His production is down to gutter. Yeah. Drogo is just continuing to get further and further ahead. We're at 73 workers versus 30. Like,
Drogo he's bleeding out a little bit here, but again, all he has to do is just go back home, reinforce, consolidate his army, and then he's gonna be good to go again for a second wave.
Second wave is already on the way.
Yeah.
War Prism did get taken out, so yeah, Drogo is having a bit of a tougher time reinforcing. He's working on one now. But as we said, this is Drogo firmly holding the game in his hands. Krystianer had it for a while, then it got stolen right under his nose.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, it's one of the things that he just didn't consider. He didn't consider getting detection. Maybe he was, you know, relying a little bit too much on that Oracle instead, you know, kind of hitching all of his hopes and dreams on that. But we saw how that worked out. Krystianer, he's going for one final counterattack. I mean, there's nothing here, so he will deal some damage, but Drogo's army is just so much larger.
Emphasis on the sum.
Yeah.
Even popping an overcharge, and he doesn't need it. Blinks right on top of the War Prism. I believe it also takes out an Archon with it.
And this is the last fight, the final fight. G gets called.
Drogo is gonna take game number 1. And just like that, Krystianer's chances of making it out of this group have gone from slim to almost not there.
I think it's not possible, mate. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
We're gonna need some people to do some math, but yeah, feels bad, man. Krystianer, he was doing so well. Like, I do want to give some props to him on that game, but yeah, in the end, Drogo, he knew what he needed, and what he needed was DTs.
That's all you need. Never has when behind Dark Shrine been this applicable. This is a straight up proof of that saying actually working out.
To be fair, a lot of it also came down to, like, you know, not being able to deal with the War Prism as well. Like, he didn't warp in any stalkers to focus it down, only Zealots to defend. Yeah, there were multiple things that came into play there, but yeah, mate, them DTs.
Multiple things came into play, but them DTs definitely came into play the most, shall we say. Put in the most quarters. Did I have that in France?
I don't. There's no quarters here, mate.
It's just like dollars, yeah. We don't have dollars either. We don't have quarters either. We have like 20-cent coins. But that was game number 1. PtitDrogo, he's got to be grinning teeth to teeth right now. Or ear to ear right now. I don't know what teeth to teeth means.
He's got to be feeling
ear to ear. This is every dirty Protoss player's dream.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see what he does here in game 2. You know, he has the freedom to do whatever the hell he wants, mate.
Indeed he does, but will he utilize it as we continue our series on 2000 Atmospheres LE? In the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player coming down for the land of France. He is currently teamless, and he is looking so good to make it out of his group right now. He is PtitDrogo.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Polish Protoss. He's red, representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer.
And I cannot imagine how he's feeling right now. Like, he had a very slim chance to make it out of the group. He played the first game, and it was going so well. Everything was in his favor, and then just like that, got taken under his nose.
Yeah, exactly. It is definitely a feels bad man moment. For sure. Oh god, as I'm currently actually trying to see. Here we go.
What do the numbers say? Like, how does the math apply?
There's some complicated math there. All right, I'm not gonna get into it.
It's, more math than my what you would call it can handle. Credentials, shall we say.
And what's interesting is we do have a difference in openers here. Pretty bold move here by Krystianer. He's going for a little bit of a more economic opener, immediately throwing down his initial buildings on the low ground.
Yeah, once again, that Nexus a little bit earlier on, once again. But look at his safeguard at this time with at least one zealot.
Yeah, that he is. I mean, he has to, because Drogo is most likely going to throw down a pylon.
No,
a pylon, potentially a cyber core as well. So yeah, he is forced to make that zealot to get that expansion up and running. Meanwhile, Drogo opening up once again with the double stalkers.
And if it ain't broke, don't break it. Maybe this time he'll get a lot more value out of them as well. Hopefully, the dream right now for Drogo is to be able to apply that pressure you want to do earlier on Krystianer, but make sure that Krystianer crumbles under it. Will throw down the pylon, which is a little bit annoying, but doesn't really delay too much in the end.
Yeah, Krystianer, he did already, take that into account, that it would happen. That's why he went for a faster Stargate to spend his resources there instead, and yeah, he did go for that Stargate opener once again. PtitDrogo, though, he did already scout this with his probe.
Indeed, he did. He's going to be keeping a couple of his stalkers back at home, just to defend now.
That he is. Just like the previous game, he is focusing a little bit more on that stalker production to gain map control and to be a little bit aggressive across the map. Maybe even force the Oracle to stay at home and defend.
That would definitely be ideal. And Drogo is going to be revealing himself a little bit quicker this time as well, just because of how 2000 Atmospheres kind of lines up. I was wondering if, as Drogo, at this point, since you already know what Krystianer is going for, you maybe get more stalkers instead of 2 sentries, but he is going for the sentries once again. Very good utility unit. One of the stalkers of Krystianer already going down, and his Zell is so far shield battery range.
Oh god!
It can still get taken out. It can still get taken out. The Nexus isn't complete yet. Like,
the Nexus is not complete. That Zell will go down. Oh my god! The Oracle shows up out of nowhere and wasn't even used across the map.
Oracle is just like, what's going on here, guys? Can I help? Stalker said, no! Get out of here!
I don't want to accuse Krystianer of all-army hockey, but that could be what just happened. I don't know. As the Oracle does go back across the map, again, even though there are shield batteries here and there are sentries, like, Oracles can still throw down stasis wards, like, they can still do something. As finally they do show up, but mate, we already got stalkers here. That
we do. Already getting a couple of volleys off. That would be no time to get those stasis wards out. Drogo!
Mates! Oh my god,
Krystianer, you gotta move it away! And Drogo's so patient, does not move into that. He gets right under the Oracle, takes it out, and now I mean, there's just nothing for him to worry about, really.
Yeah. What is one Oracle gonna do? Mate, we already have shield batteries. It's not gonna do any damage. He does find one transferring worker, so he does do something here. He does scout the main base at least. You know, that's the bare minimum you want to do, but ay.
I'm hoping the Oracle lives long enough to throw revelations in case of DTs.
It's not gonna happen, mate. It's gonna be sniped off, and then we're gonna see DTs again.
Speaking of sniping it off, yeah, this actually looks like a very real possibility right now. That Oracle has very little energy left. I don't think it even has enough for a stasis ward.
It doesn't, mate. It does not. Oh, God. Meanwhile, ooh, actually, the natural is completely exposed, so damage will be done here. To be fair, there still isn't that much energy, and this is because PtitDrogo is across the map with all of his stalkers.
He is. Blink and +1 still a little ways off, but he might as well try to get something done here. He knows that Blink isn't going to be done for Krystianer either. There's a lot that Force Fields can do to win the fight for Drago.
Yeah, exactly. Already dealing so much damage. Overcharge was kind of wasted prematurely there, and now, God, the Stalkers are starting to go down.
PtitDrogo has just about enough to start two-shotting these Stalkers, it seems. He needs to target fire them as best he can. His micro, even without Blink, is still very, very impeccable. Losing as few Stalkers as possible.
Exactly. Thankfully for Krystianer, that second shield battery did finish up in time, and he was able to hold on. But again, like, that was like just kind of some light pressure from PtitDrogo. Like, mate, he's expanding. His upgrades are still on the way.
He did not even have Blink for the entirety of that. Can we point that out? And now Krystianer's making a couple of Void Rays, but I tell you what, Light, what a Void Ray is going to do against Blink Stalkers?
Mate, it's happening again. It's happening again.
It's going to hurt again. Oh, not quite enough. Not quite enough. Oracle will live for now.
For now.
So much more vulnerable.
Yeah, that it is. It's barely got any HP left. There are still Stalkers out here on the map looking for it, hunting it down. Meanwhile, Krystianer, the turns have tabled. Dark Shrine is on the way.
When behind, and Krystianer, he is proxying this Dark Shrine as well. I don't think Drago has any inkling of what's to come, but just to be safe, he is getting some cannons out. He is getting that Observer. He knows. How did I win that last game? All right, cloaked units. I had to make sure that Krystianer doesn't pull a Drago here. Yeah,
exactly. And we already see an Observer just popping out here for PtitDrogo, so he will have mobile detection. Oh boy, Krystianer, he's going to test the waters here at the third, but maybe we have plenty here to defend. Does deny the Luke.
Yeah, we do. Ooh, not too bad. It's a little bit of map information taken away. Krystianer trying to set up a bit of a reinforcement point with that pylon. That Oracle is still alive, huh?
It is still alive. He's waiting for the moment to just dive in. Meanwhile, that pylon did get taken out. But again, what's important is that because that hallucination was sniped, the chances of PtitDrogo finding this Dark Shrine is lower. He still does have detection, to be fair, but like there are still like opportunities for those DTs to find some damage.
It's like you saw that alerted status, right? He's at that state of mind right now. It's like, okay, this is a possibility, so I'm gonna make sure I have detection just in case, but I'm not gonna actively...
He wants the cannon, he gets it!
He does take out a cannon, a lot less detection available right now for Drago.
Mate, that's kind of sus.
DTs, they do get revealed!
Ah, they get revealed!
The Observer moves in just at the right time.
Oh, God. I was gonna praise Krystianer because he goes in and reveals. He saw the cannon at the wall, essentially, or at the opening, at the entrance. He focused it down, but there was an Observer there anyway.
That was... Coming in right at the last second. The Observer is going to meet with the other DT, by the way.
Oh, God. There's still one DT out there, and he's going to try and find some damage, but we have a cannon at the third because, I mean, PtitDrogo now knows the DTs are a threat. Meanwhile, Oracle does barely stay alive. DT, Of
course, to recall, this DT is jumping in and jumping right on out.
Yeah.
May try to bruise the gateways a little bit, but... yeah, Krystianer knows he's going to need to do a lot more than that. He is setting himself up pretty well defensively. Very good position on that stasis ward, and he is splitting up his army to try to pincer on top of PtitDrogo if he goes up the ramp.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't know where the army is, and oh God, here comes Drogo. The stasis! Oh! Does he see?
That's get revealed! Ah! Only a handful of units get caught, and that is not enough for Krystianer at all. charge isn't quite done yet either. This Archon is having a field day on top of all these Zealots.
Oh god, that he is. I didn't realize the charge wasn't done. Oh my god, a bit of an anti-timing there for Krystianer. Drogo just pushing in. A couple of boys are forced to be pulled as well. You can see how desperate Krystianer is.
But it is just not working out for him whatsoever. Finally, the Oracle goes down as well, and that was just a symbolic, I feel like that was just a symbolic victory here. Krystianer, his entire army is in shambles. GG is called, and PtitDrogo